and closing parentheses. Alright? And that's basically how you write it to a text file. So to sum it up again, you extracted the data from the text file, the existing text file, put it into a string. You divided it by rows, and then inside the for loop you divided it again by columns. And it's going to keep going until there's no more, until it reaches the end of the text file. Python is smart to detect where it ends, so you don't have to worry about it. In a programming language like C++ or C, you've got to check to make sure you got to tell the program where it ends. So you have to specify a condition where if it's an end of file. But in Python, it knows. It knows. Okay, let's see. Oh, right. Every time you open up a text file, you got to close it. So w.close parentheses, and then f.close. We do this for safety reasons, in case your Python decides to write garbage into your text file. You got to immediately close it to make sure nothing else can write into it. Right? Okay, and then one last thing you guys have to worry about is arguments, basically. Because, let's see, so in your simulations, you guys executed programs that are arguments, right? So like a program, and then you have to specify arguments like 10, 5, 6, something like that. So how do you get those arguments? You get them by doing this. In Python, there's a library. So right below here, you're going to import something called sys. It's short for system. So to get now, sys has a function. Actually, that's more of an object. It's called sys.argv. It represents argument value, and I'll show you what's going on. So you have your Python script, py, and you specify these arguments: sec, 10, and z. All right. Argv is going to return So what this guy does is it's going to hold each argument into a string. So sys dot right. Argv is actually a list. It's a list. So if I access argv 0, what does that mean? Ironically enough, this actually is part of the argument. So it's actually going to print out script.py. 1 is sec, 2 is 10, 3 is z. So if I do this, length, sys.argv, it's going to return 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to return 4. Okay, so one thing. So you guys have to. So what's the benefit of arguments? Instead of hard coding the text file, as I showed you, field f is equal to open, and then you actually have to specify the actual name of the file. Whatever. This makes it easier. And I'll show you exactly right now. So, suppose we want to make it, so let's see. So let's say this is a text file that we want to import. So this is our argument, script.python sec.text. Okay, so to do so, you want to, and it's so argv, it's a list of all strings. No integers, no floats, it's just a string. So, you want to put in, so it's going to be a string, is equal to sys.argv, and it has to be 1, because that's the first argument. remember, if you do argv 0, you're actually going to get this guy, script.python. You don't want that. You want you want the actual argument, sake.txt. If you want, so suppose you are going to take in another text file, list.txt. You'll have another guy, str2, sys.argv2. Alright? So right now let's just focus on one text file. So that's going to return a string. Sake.txt will be a string in str. So how do you open up that text file? F is equal to open str r. Look at the difference. I don't need quotes. Why? Because str is a string. Str contains, so right now, this guy, str is equal to sake.txt in quotes. So I don't have to specify the quotes. What if I actually did this? That means Python is going to find a text file called str. It's going to try to open it, and you're going to get an error, cannot find file. So this makes your program a little bit more portable now, because now you can take in any text file instead of hard coding it. And then you can do all your operations from there.